Howdy folks, it's Tall earlier and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and today we're going to continue with the bush trips. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback that people love that I'm going through all of these bush trips. They are a lot of work, but it's worth it. I very much enjoy doing them for everybody, as well as, flying them myself, since I'm the one who sits through the hours and hours and hours of flying. And as we learned, if you crash, then, well, you have to fly the plane back somehow. It's very weird. Let's hope we don't crash. So, let's see. We have 3 left from World Update 5. Or 2 left from World Update 5, Sweden and Norway. But we're going to jump ahead and do one of the bush trips that is new with World Update 6. And I decided today to start with the Swiss Northern Lights, which is down here somewhere. It's Northern Lights, Swiss Northern Lakes. It's a short one, 2 hours only, which means it'll take me like 6. But I figured we would do this one next, just because, for no reason. Oh, okay, yes, because it's very short. And some of the other ones are like 7 hours and stuff, 5 hours. I'm looking at my list. 5 hours, 7 hours. Yeah, so we're going to do this one. So let's click on it, and here we go. All right, if you haven't done a bush trip video with me yet, we go through each leg, 1 leg per video, and we talk about each point of interest. And we try to find it as best as we can, and stay low enough to the ground if we can. Sometimes you have to climb for altitude, and then we miss the stuff on the bottom, on the ground. But that's how we do it. 1 leg per video. We read about everything. We don't necessarily worry about the stopwatch thing too much, but we do as accurate as we can and try to, make the most of it. And therefore, if you're following along to fly it yourself, you'll know where to go. If you're just hanging out with us, then that works too. So that's how it works. And we're going to start by reading about this one, and then we'll get right into it here. So, this invigorating flight, which connects the lakes of northern Switzerland, will take you to some of the most beautiful scenes in all of Europe. This route stitches together immersive vistas of nature, the man-made and unique fusions of the two. You'll explore these sites in the Cessna 172 G1000, ideal for this journey due to the wide field of view its cockpit offers and a solid performance in navigating the skies. Assistance on the trip will be formed back on track, but disable achievements. Right? We've done all the achievements for the bush trips, but we're still not going to click back on track. All right, 213 nautical miles, about 2 hours, 3 legs. So this will be a 3 video series for this bush trip. Start from Geneva and heading to St. Gallen. And, okay, that's all I need to say for introduction. Ooh, windy. Ooh, that'll be fun. All right, let's get started. All right, so these start you on the runway, no ATC or anything. And the weather actually said 2 knot wind. So I don't know why I said windy when there's only 2 knots of wind. Let's hide these things for right now. Oh, look at this. Our path is back. Oh my, let's just absorb that for a second. So let me explain, because not all of you watch every video, right? A lot of you jump around, especially on the bush trips if you're looking for something in particular. So, aside from the Nevada trip from the original bush trip from over a year ago, aside from that one, the path is laid out on the map like this for all the other bush trips. And then all you need to do is set your autopilot to follow GPS, which is the purple line if you're just learning how to do this. And your airplane on autopilot will follow the bush trip. All you have to do is land without crashing, which is kind of tricky, because if you do crash, it starts you wherever you crashed, and sometimes you can't fly from there, so you have to start on a different leg, but then your airplane won't count. You have to fly your plane back. So just don't crash, okay? I have crashed plenty of times, but just don't crash. So, with this line, you just do autopilot and it follows it. And you don't have to do anything except land. After World Update 5, however, the lines were all missing. And you had to do it the VFR way, where you pull up the map, you read about where you're going, you set the stopwatch, you set your heading, and then you have to follow and figure it all out on your own. And I used a lot of Google Maps on the side, so I won't get lost. Now, with World Update 6, at least with this bush trip. It looks like our line is back. So I don't know if that's a world, I think it's a world update thing, because someone in a video was telling me after World Update 5, their bush trip, which was from a previous update, lost the line too. So I wonder if they saw that as a bug and they brought the line back. We won't find out until I do one of the bush trips from World Update 5. So a lot of you might not have any idea what you're talking about. If you do, that's okay, don't worry about it. But those of you who do watch every video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is interesting. Okay. Well, I do admit the past couple bush trips were fun to force me to use the stopwatch and force me to use the heading bug and force me to pay attention. But after doing that for, 18 hours of flying, I'm kind of happy that my line is back, and I think we'll take advantage of it. So we'll talk about that in a minute, okay? We'll talk about this in a minute. Yeah, we'll talk about the POI and what that means and why I'm very excited. So let's hide the map for now. First thing we need to do is refuel and repair, which I have mapped on my keyboard as Control-R, Alt-R. I can't remember, but we're full of fuel anyway, so it doesn't matter at this moment. Otherwise, I'm going to zoom this out a little bit for now, although I don't really need it. And we're going to set up autopilot, which on this airplane is here. So we're going to do the flight director. We will do nav. We will do vertical speed. Now let's do 800 feet per minute. And let's set our altitude. Altitude on this one is over here. What are we at right now? Where are we? We're at 1,400 feet above sea level right now. I don't think we need to go very high. I want to stay low to the ground so we can see stuff. In other bush trips with lots of terrain, like in the mountains, you just go right up. You just fly right up and stay there. But you miss everything on the ground. In this case, I don't see too much terrain. So let's do... we're at 1,400. Let's do 4,000. We might have to climb higher than that, but let's start with that. So our autopilot is all set to go. Very simple. I also like to turn these things off. Normally, I would put the wind and stuff on here. Why can't I find it? Here we go. I normally turn the wind, but there's really no wind to worry about in the bush trips, except the Patagonia one. We did have to worry about wind, and that got pretty crazy. The Patagonia one was still the most difficult one we've done, although I don't think we crashed. We've crashed on the others because I just wasn't paying attention, and I was like looking around and overspeed and stuff like that. But the Patagonia one was the most difficult so far. Although I think some of these ones with World Update 6, just looking at them a little bit, I think there's going to be some really difficult bush trips coming up here. But anyway, this is all we need to do. That's what I'd like to do, set that up. Alright, so here we go. So the airplane's all ready to go. And first set of flaps already be down. So now we're going to read about what's going to happen. So here we go. So see this POI thing, point of interest. It lines up with the point of interest here. So POI 1, after lifting your Cessna 172 into the Swiss skies from Genève Airport, put it on a northeasterly heading in a 5.3 nautical miles. You'll be over the lake, the heart of Lake Geneva, the largest lake in Switzerland and one of the largest in Western Europe. So POI 1 and bam, POI 1. So when we get there, that's POI 1, and then we'll come back to this and read about, come here, POI 2. That's how this is going to work. And then if there's time in between like this, then we'll wait till the next one, but sometimes you have to read ahead. But anyway, so we're going to take off and head to Lake Geneva. That's what that tells us. And normally we would set the stopwatch down here in our heading bug, but we're going to take advantage of that line. And we're going to do it that way. So if you want to see outside, come on. There we go. Let's use that. In fact, this could be a good screenshot right there. Anyway, so, ooh, look at that. Very pretty. Very pretty. Now, it used to be that we would see other people flying these bush trips with us. I have multiplayer turned on, and I have labels on. But I haven't had other players in the skies in my flights and for a really stinking long time, which is okay because it does bog your performance. But some of the bush trips, it'd be fun because you see like 30 other people flying around with you on the bush trips. But whatever. Well, I mean, I'll figure that out later. But anyway, parking brake off. Or is it on now? It's on because it starts off. Okay, there we go. Parking brake is now off. We're going to just take off here. And I have not flown in a long time. I know you've been watching videos because I spaced them out, but I have not flown in ages. Alright, so here we go, except for my World Update 6 video, which we didn't even fly anything from World Update 6. Whatever. Alright, here we go, about ready to take off here, and gently pull back. We're a little slow yet, but whatever. There we go. Brakes to stop the wheels, and flaps coming in. And whenever you want, whenever you're ready, you can engage autopilot. We'll hand fly for just a moment, just because it's fun. But if our white line were gone, we just have to figure it out by comparing the map on the right and the GPS to the map on the left and try to figure it out. And then if I got lost, I would just Google it. That's how I would do it. But we're going to take advantage. So here we go. Let's hit autopilot. Now, why are we doing with autopilot? So we can look around. We've gone over that before. I have discussed my philosophy on doing it this way many times. I want to look around. That's the whole point of this. But if you have to be really careful and navigate at the same time and everything, you miss out on some stuff. Ooh, 800 feet per minute might be a little aggressive. Let's bring that down to 600 feet per minute and just take our time. We're not in a hurry. Alrighty, so that being said, let's look around. That airplane is taking us to, where is it going? Right in the middle here is where we're headed. Let's take out the drone, which we can do because we're on autopilot. And hit my arrow key. If you hit your arrow key, see that menu bar thing on the top? If you hit your arrow keys on your keyboard, it goes away. I wish that weren't there at all. I know there's a mod for it, but I run mod free as best as I can, and I know my personal speakers are blaring. So looking down at the town, that is incredibly gorgeous. Look at that. Incredibly gorgeous. And this is already very exciting. I'm very excited that we can just use autopilot and look around. I mean, we can use autopilot even if we didn't have that line, but we would have to, pay way more attention and spend way more time in the cockpit. So we don't miss things, which I have done that before too, missing things because we're looking around too much. Ooh, this is a great shot. Look at that. Very busy area. Now looking at the mountains in the background, that's obvious, we're looking at satellite imagery of course, but the scale seems a little off, so you can tell it's satellite imagery, right? But if you look down here, you can't tell really. Of course there's autogen. Well, I hate calling it an autogen because it's a little more sophisticated than that, but it doesn't look as satellite-y here, right? Oh, and there we go. Boats underwater. I love finding the boats underwater. It's hilarious. Alright, let's keep an eye on our vitals here because I don't want to crash and have to redo any legs. So, are we about at our first POI? Almost. Let me zoom this in a little bit. And there we go. So our first POI there is right there. Normally without this line we wouldn't know that. We just have to figure it out with the stopwatch and the heading bug. But there we go. So we're almost at POI 1, and then we'll read about POI 2 in a moment. Let's just enjoy this together here. Oh, it's going to turn us left. And eventually I'll stop talking, and what we'll do is we'll have sightseeing where I cut out some of the length, but I don't cut out the scenery. So you won't miss anything in any of these bush trips if you're following along, to see where to go and stuff. I don't cut out the scenery. Our clouds are looking less Minecrafty. No, they still look like Minecraft in the water. But that looks really good. The haze makes the satellite imagery on the mountains on that side look much better. Look at all these seaside towns too, or lakeside towns. Oh man, wait, was that an island? No. I like looking for little islands. Alrighty, we are over our first POI, so let's read about our next one. Here we go. Jura Vardois, maybe, Nature Park. Bear to the left, and just over 14 nautical miles, you reach Jura Vardois Nature Park, an area renowned for its lakes and views of the mountains. So that's going to be about 7 minutes out. We could use a stopwatch, don't need to. We can't really use this though because there are turns in between, but that's kind of close. Alrighty, so we're looking for the park and a bunch of lakes, which would be, because it gives it away, it spoils it for us, right here. So when we get up here to this, let's see, is it that Y? No, actually I think we're already there. No, we're not. Hard to tell. I don't want to click on anything on accident. There's that Y there. Then there's that little thing sticking out. Okay, that's back there. Yeah, we're pretty much there already, because there's this leg. Where's it that? Nope, it's this way. Okay, so it's right up here. Yeah, we're pretty much already there. Because I'm going really fast, I just realized. That's okay. Anyway, ooh. Where's it going to send us? So I need to climb. I might need to climb a little bit. See, this is what I was talking about. So let's come down here and let's climb. I guess we're going to climb all the way up to 6,000. So let's do vertical speed, nose up. A gentle 4,400 feet per minute. How about that? Alrighty, so there we go. We're almost at POI 2 already. It's going fast when I'm blabbing so much. So let's just enjoy the views of the mountains. See, there's that lake back there. See, there's an island. Little tiny island. A little lake. Whoops, where are we going? This way. There we go. Looking good. Let's have a look outside, then read about POI number 3. Well, that's a good view here. Let's maybe use that as a thumbnail. We'll see. Look at those towns. Now, actually, those aren't towns. Those are cities. Very populated area here. Obviously. Looking good, though. Looking good. There's the nature park on the left. Alrighty, let's put the drone away. And let's read about POI 3. So if we compare that map to our map, POI 3 is after the second little hump. So right now we are right here. And then we're going to fly. I don't know why this track tells us way up here and we're flying way down here. Interesting. Whatever, doesn't matter. Alright, POI 3 after the second hump. Let's read about it already because we're already at POI 2. Lausanne? Something? Head east and you'll soon be at Lausanne, a renowned city built on the shore of the northeastern aspect of Lake Geneva. Alrighty, so we're going to look for that town. And, whoops, how many controls do I have? There we go. So we're looking for the second hump. I'm trusting that the computer is going to turn us. So we're going to go right here. We're looking for this right here. I'm trusting the computer is going to take care of us. We will see. I'm glad we climbed though, because we're getting pretty close to those mountains. Alrighty, so this is where I'm going to turn you loose to some sightseeing, because we read about where we're going. We know what we're looking for. And it gives it away. It spoils it for us, but that's okay. So I'm going to give you some sightseeing. I'm going to cut out the length in between, which means I'm going to cut out like 5 minutes or so, but you won't miss anything in the scenery. I'm going to rest my voice because I've already spoken way more than I planned on, and I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, about 2 minutes, we're gonna turn left, which is probably good so you don't run into these mountains. So let's read about our next section of our adventure, the POI 4, Lake Neuchâtel. From Lausanne, turn to the north-northeast, and you'll soon reach Lake Neuchâtel, the largest lake by surface area, entirely within the boundaries of Switzerland. Alrighty, so largest lake by surface area, entirely in the boundaries of Switzerland. So we need to turn left or right by that airport, and we're gonna go to POI 4, which is this huge lake right here. And then when we get to there, we have a quick hop over to another lake, which we'll read about with POI 5. So very, very simple. How long did it say that would take? It would take 9 minutes, which is fine. I'm just thinking logistics because my children were having a late night out at a park event and they're on their way home. So I have to somehow figure out how I'm going to keep my plane in the air and deal with their late dinner and bedtime and then come back to this, maybe? I'll have to figure that out. That's for me to figure out. All you need to do is just hang tight. Not even hang tight. Just enjoy the sights. Because after this turn here, I'm going to give you some sightseeing. 9 minutes of flight time, but it's going to be less than 9 minutes of sightseeing. I'll stitch it together as already described. Trying to figure out why my floodlights are on, but waiting for us to turn any second now. We should be turning, and I just want to look at the city together before I turn us loose here. Any second now. There it is. Alrighty, here we go. Enjoy that, and I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so we're going to get ready here to discuss the next POI. So we're aiming for right over here in the water for this part. So the next one, POI 5, Lake Morat. Head east-northeast for just over 50 nautical miles to Lake Morat, one of the 3 large lakes in the Jura region of Switzerland, the other 2 being Neuchâtel and Lake Belp. Alright, so it's another lake, one of the 3 largest, about 7 or so minutes away. Let's see where it is on here. Oh yeah, right over there. So we're gonna go along this lake. Actually, we're just gonna barely touch it, and then head over this way, which means we can probably see it. Yep, right here. We're gonna head to that lake right there. Simple enough. We'll be turning in about 2 minutes, and then that's where we'll head. But in the meantime, let's have an outside view together, looking at the mountains. My favorite view so far is when we turned in this direction, looking back at that hazy valley.
That's been my favorite part of this trip. Trying to figure out if the field of view looks kind of skewed weird. I haven't been able to put my finger on it, but there we go. There's a nice big city. Let's actually hop inside for this and get the immersion experience. There we go. Good sized town. Got a lake. Around some hills and some mountains. Ooh, that's some nice looking forestry. Alright, we should be turning any second here. Then we'll be heading to the lake. Right over there, not too far away. Oh wow, look at that. I like that hill, that ridge behind the city along the highway there. And we're still waiting to turn towards our lake. Where's it going to put us here? I guess that's where it said to put us. So there we go, 18 seconds out. So we should be turning any second, any moment here. And then once, there we go. And then once we level off, we'll start coming down a little bit. I don't think we need to be quite this high. We seem to be missing some pretty good scenery being up here. So there we go. Straighten out there. Alrighty, let's see. Let's come down here. Let's go down. I think we can go all the way to 4,500. Can't I do hundreds? There we go. Whoops, wrong way. 4,500. Let's try 4,500 vertical speed. We'll come down a gentle 300 feet per minute. I don't want to overspeed and have to redo this leg. In fact, I had to stop for about 2 hours or so to take care of my children, get them to bed, get my wife to bed, so I can stay up super late tonight. So I think it's like 2 hours or 3 hours later. We'll find out because it'll tell us for the time of the leg. We'll find out how long it's been. But anyway, we're heading towards our lake, and then once we get there, we'll talk about the next POI, which is right there. I can already see where it's going to be. But we'll figure it out. But yeah, I think go down 4,500. We'll see. We're headed there ultimately, but we'll see if we can stay at this altitude. Alrighty, just a blip of sightseeing for you, and then we'll get to the next POI. See you in a moment. Alright, since we have a few POIs in quick succession here, I wanted to read about the next few, but I wanted to show you something I noticed here. Take out this camera. Our tail number has been remembered, so maybe that's something they fixed in World Update 6, where they now remember your tail numbers. Remember we had to type it in, it used to work, and we used to have to type it in every single time, and then it would be forgotten, and then we had to type it in again. But in the bush trips, you don't even have a chance to type it in. So it remembered. So we'll see if it remembers during a regular flight as well. We'll have to see here. But otherwise, I was also messing to see if there's a field of view difference, and there isn't. It's just in my head. But anywho, you can already see where we're headed to, off to the left there, middle of your screen. So let's read about it. What does it say? Lake Beale. Turn northeast and you'll soon be over Lake Beale, which is right there. And then after that, we'll turn southeast and head to Lake Wolin, a small reservoir in the canton of Bern. Alrighty, so 6 and 7 we'll do together. So let's put that away. So we're headed here to Lake Beale, then that other lake, whatever they said it was, Bolin or Bolin. And then when we get to this lake, we'll read about our last POI in the airport, and then we'll land. That'll be the end of this leg. 1 of 3. So there we go. Not much else to say in between. So I think I'll leave you to it here. I'm trying to see if you can see that other lake. We're going over here and then over there somewhere. I think that's it right there, perhaps. Alrighty. A little bit of sightseeing for you. And how are you doing on fuel? Oh, didn't even do anything. Okay. Sightseeing for you, and I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, for this last bit, we're just gonna fly by hand. Just because we can. Why not? So let's kill autopilot. There, no autopilot, go away. I think that's autopilot off. I didn't hear any alarms or anything. Do I have control? I do have control. I have the aircraft. Now I just need to be careful not to overspeed. So let's bring back throttles to start descending a little bit. And they'll fly right over this reservoir. And hopefully end up at the airport while we try to sightsee, which sometimes doesn't, oh, there's houses and roads there. Sometimes doesn't go very well, right? So let's start coming down without losing too much speed, but not overspeeding, of course. And do we have the airport spotted while we're flying towards this reservoir? I don't, whoop, bring back those throttles, don't overspeed. So let's see, after the reservoir, we're going to do east and go over Bern, a forest in Bern, and then land at the airport. Single strip of pavement. And I don't see the airport yet. Let's not come down so quickly quite yet. We're going to aim for the forest, and then maybe the airport will come into view. I do wish they gave you altitudes of your destination. That would be very nice and helpful. Even though it's VFR, it would be nice to know. Well, look at the shadows coming off those trees and everything. Imagine how much nicer it would look if I had all the shadows turned on. I think I have shadows turned off. Maybe I have them turned on. I actually don't know. I have everything cranked up. Maybe I do have shadows turned on. Maybe I'm thinking of other simulators where I have them turned off. I don't know. But anyway, there's an awesome river going through there. And why don't I see this airport yet? It should be right off the nose. And a dog leg to the right. I will bring back my speed in a moment. I don't want to come down too soon yet. I want to catch this river as we go over, but I also have to keep an eye on everything because we're hand flying. Looking good. There's our river. There's a town off the river. Mountains in the background. River and farmland there. Mountains in the background there. Do we see this airport yet? How can we not see this place? I will find it. Let's hop outside, but we can't use the drone because... sorry, I'm concentrating. We can't use the drone because I won't have control of the aircraft. Let's see. Airport, where are you? Oh, I think it's coming into view. Okay, let's not get too low. I'm so busy enjoying the scenery, I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. Look at that dam. Is that awesome? Oh, look at that. Oh, this is so cool. We're below our train to the left. We better be careful here. Okay, we're getting kind of slow. Let's keep going. We don't got all day. Have some final looks around while we can. We have to fly a plane. This looks so good here. It looks so much better than when we started. I really wish we could fly lower for some of these bush trips, but with the train you can't. Still trying to find this airport. This isn't even a tough airport to find. Ooh, look at that big city. There's Bern, right? What really gets tough is when you're in the mountains trying to land on grass strips and dirt strips that you can't see, and then if you miss them, you gotta like go all the way around for half an hour. Where is this airport? Is it in the city? Did it say it was in the city? Belp. I don't know. What if I zoom in a little bit to get a sense of how far away it is? There it is. I finally see it. The lights finally started flashing. So it's after the city. I mean, that picture doesn't do much help, but... Good. Alright, so now we know where we're going. Let's line up for the runway. Make sure we're not going to hit any terrain. Looking good. Start coming down a little bit here even. And let's hop outside. We can get some good views of the city super quickly before we have to land. Fabulous. And there is the city. Check that out. Wow. Let's catch it from here since that's more immersive. Look at the trails down there and the park and the trees and the forest. Oh my gosh. The forest. I meant the freeway. The freeway going through the forest. That's what I meant to say. Alright, speed's looking good. Altitude's looking good. Everything's looking fabulous. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. Just spectacular. Alright, where's our runway? Here we go. Let's stop descending until we get over the city, and then we will slow down a little bit. Ooh, look at the train station down there. A lot of train tracks, actually. Look at that. Going all the way back. Alrighty, enough sightseeing. We have to land this plane, because once we get off, it's hard to get back on. But I really want to see the city as we fly over it. I guess we could always active pause. But we won't. Look at that hill to the left. Far left with that big tower on top. Isn't that cool? Alright, it says we're too low on the Pappy. I think that's Pappy. I mean, it would make sense. We're about to skim the city here. Let's just stay out of flap range here for a moment. Look around a little more. Check that out. Oh wow, it's like on a big hill. Look at that bridge too. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Alright, be careful though. I lost airport. See what happens when you're looking around. Problems happen when you're looking around. Alright. There's one white. There we go. Let's get into flap range now. Throttles back to descend, but we'll pitch up to slow down. And get ready for, there we go. Now we're on glide slope. Good. Slight crosswind from the right, I guess. Barely. It does say we have a tailwind crosswind. First set of flaps, that'll cause some float. Can we look super quickly? Can we look super quickly back at the town? Oh, no, see now we're off. Anyway, let's get back on. Whoa. Okay, pay attention to what you're doing, turtle. Holy moly, we do not want to redo this leg. When these legs get over like 25 minutes, and this one's almost an hour, but when you get over 25 minutes, I get nervous because I don't want to have to redo any legs. Okay, we're out of flap speed here. We have flaps down. Want to be careful. See, now we're too fast because I was looking around. Ugh, we were doing great too. Okay, there we go. We'll use flaps to slow us down, which you're not supposed to do, but that's what we're going to do. Alright. We recovered from that. Okay, here we go. There we go, nice and easy. Super easy. Let ground effects take over. And gentle. And brakes. Try to get center nose wheel down gently. And look for that save icon. Where's the save icon? There we go. Oh, it didn't count my pause time. Okay. Because it used to count my pause time. So if I paused for 2 hours, it would count it. So that was only 4 minutes longer than it was supposed to be. We did kind of cut the last leg short, the last section. But that's okay. Alrighty, you know the drill. 1 leg per video. So that's first leg down. And I'll catch you in the next video for the next one. Like, subscribe. I'll catch you then.